Hi, I'm Cindy Tank Murphy and I'm from Chicago, Illinois. My company, Clever Belle, inspires women and girls to wear their dreams and aspirations. So I think what drew me to this was the fact that the Women Network was an opportunity for me to just reach out to other women, and knowing that I was going to be here with other influential women was just very inspiring to me. As a new entrepreneur, I knew I needed to seek out other resources. Being in the corporate world for over the last 20 years, you get used to having your own resources internally. And so the hardest thing and the biggest challenge for me was trying to figure out how I was going to accomplish all this. And I felt like I had to do it all myself. Now, I do work with all my siblings. I have 3 siblings and we're a family business, but it's just not the same to have other external opportunities and other external people to support and find resources from. Just talking about the fact that women as a whole, we need to tell our stories, we need to share our pain, and we need to, we don't always have to put on this facade that everything's okay and my family's perfect, and we get tied up in that lifestyle, when really it's all about our experiences that we bring to the table. And when we share those experiences, it's so much easier to have those really difficult conversations. One of the challenges that we did, and I think this is also what helped give me the strength to do, I was ready to do all of the ropes course. There was nothing that I wasn't going to do. But one of the activities was called electric fence. And so we started out, we had Werner and Daryl on our team, so we had 2 men, and they were kind of lifting us up, or we were, putting our legs on their legs and kind of climbing over, and then people on the other side would help us out. We realized it was easier if Daryl would go on the other side, and we would kind of transfer from shoulder to shoulder. So Werner would pick us up on one side, and then we'd transfer over our shoulders on the other side. And this was going on, and I kept thinking to myself, okay, how are Daryl and Werner going to get over? I just had in my mind that we had to get Werner over. And I said, Werner, get on my shoulders. And he looked at me like, are you kidding me? I'm 5'4". I don't look like I'm that strong, perhaps. But I don't know, I just knew that I know I'm strong. So I had him get on my shoulders, and I picked him up. Everybody was helping to support, of course, and we got him over to the other side, and he came around and he looked at me and he told me that he just fell in love with me. And that alone gave me the strength to do anything else that day. Just that alone, when he told me that. And so when they put the harnesses on and we were ready to climb, I was the first one in line. I got in line and said, I'm going up that one. And my knees were shaking the whole time, but I just felt that I was not afraid. I wasn't afraid that there wasn't going to be anyone there to let me down. And then I climbed the strength one, the one that was upper body strength, the vertical net. That one I thought was really tough. But the one that really, to me, was kind of the icing on the cake was climbing the pole and standing, and then just surrendering, jumping out into nowhere, and knowing that I had to rely on someone to let me down and not let me fall. That was pretty amazing. And every time I climbed, I was just climbing with this, I don't know, this inner power that I was just, this strength. I was so fast going up the pole. I don't even know why. It was just, I think it was the message of move. About a year ago, in fact, a year ago this time, my siblings and I had just funded our Kickstarter campaign to start Clever Belle. It's about instilling confidence in girls, especially girls between the ages of 8 and 14. I'm raising 2 girls in that age range right now, and I've seen and I've read studies of how girls up to the age of 7, boys and girls have the same aspirations, the same dreams. And then something happens about that age, around 7 or 8, and their self-confidence declines and they start to turn away from things that they love to do. They start to turn away from their passions. They start to believe that they can't do the things that they want to do when they grow up. And so our t-shirts are all about inspiring girls and also women to wear those dreams on them every day and to be thinking about what it is that's important to them. We also, on top of all of that, what I think is so powerful is we do a Women of Influence line. So we put women who have made significant impact, people like Helen Keller, people like Ada Lovelace, the first true computer programmer who most people don't realize was a woman. People like Misty Copeland, the first African-American ballet at the American Ballet Theater, principal ballet, ballerina I should say. And then people like Jane Goodall, who's done so much work for humanity, for nature and the environment. And then Malala, you know, when we chose her, that was a true reflection of girls, you know, the first ever, youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize winner. So we want to continue that, and we want to continue to bring forth women that girls can relate to and can say, wow, I could do that. I want to be just like her. So I want everyone to know that they can be a clever belle. And what that means is they're brilliantly beautiful, and that's inside and out.